Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today I'm counting down the top 10 AAA Nintendo Switch games you should definitely play in 2025. These games are still amazing, even though some of them have been out for a while. Let's jump right in. Fire Emblem. Three Houses puts you in the shoes of a professor at a military academy where you choose one of three houses to teach and lead in battle. The game has two main parts, teaching your students at the academy and fighting turn-based battles where you move your characters like chess pieces across a grid. When fighting, you need to think about positioning, weapons, and special skills. Each character can be trained in different weapon types and roles, like archer, knight, or mage. The story follows your chosen house through a war, with the game changing a lot depending on which house you pick. Your relationships with students matter too. The closer you get to them, the better they fight. With 4 different story paths, tons of characters to recruit, and many ways to build your team, you can play this game multiple times and have a different experience each time.
Good idea.
Dragon Quest XI-S is a classic Japanese role-playing game that follows a young man who discovers he's the reincarnation of a legendary hero called the Luminary. The world is bright and colorful, filled with towns, dungeons, and monsters designed by the same artist who draws Dragon Ball. Combat is turn-based, meaning you select actions from menus for your party of up to 4 characters, choosing between attacks, magic, and special abilities. What makes this game special is its charming story, memorable characters who join your adventure, and the way it perfectly captures the feeling of going on a grand journey. The Switch version adds a special 2D mode that lets you play the entire game in a retro style that looks like older Dragon Quest games. There's also a crafting system where you can make your own equipment, side quests in every town, and a casino with mini games. With over 100 hours of content and a story full of twists and turns, this is a perfect game for anyone who loves adventures.
Fight and fight some more!
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 takes place in a world where 2 nations are locked in an endless war, with soldiers who only live for 10 years before their life force is used up. You control Noah and Mio, along with their friends from both nations, who discover they can combine their powers by Ouroboros fusion. The combat happens in real time, where you auto-attack enemies while positioning yourself to use special abilities called arts that have cooldowns. What makes this game unique is how you can switch between different classes, learning abilities from other characters and customizing your team. The world is huge, with giant open areas to explore, massive creatures roaming around, and weather that changes as you play. The story deals with themes of life, purpose, and breaking free from the cycles that trap us. Side quests help you learn more about the world and its people, often changing areas when completed. With a moving story, beautiful music, and combat that keeps getting deeper as you play, this game offers over 100 hours of adventure. Animal Crossing New Horizons lets you create your own island paradise where you live alongside cute animal villagers. Unlike most games, it runs in real time, meaning an hour in real life is an hour in the game, and seasons change with our actual calendar. You start with a tent on an empty island and slowly build it up by collecting resources like wood, stone, and iron. These materials let you craft furniture, tools, and decorations. There's no pressure or main story to follow. You set your own goals, whether that's catching all the fish and bugs for the museum, designing the perfect home, or creating a beautiful island landscape. You can reshape the entire island with paths, rivers, and cliffs once you unlock terraforming tools. Villagers move in and out of your island, each with unique personalities and home designs. The game regularly updates with seasonal events tied to real holidays. Super Mario Odyssey sends Mario on a globe-trotting adventure to stop Bowser from forcibly marrying Princess Peach. The big new mechanic is Mario's living hat Cappy, which allows Mario to capture enemies and objects by throwing his hat at them. When you capture something, you take control of it and use its special abilities, like a frog that jumps super high, a tank that shoots, or a T-Rex that smashes through rocks. The game has many different kingdoms to explore, from a food-themed land to a city with realistic humans. In each kingdom, you collect power moons hidden throughout the levels. Some are easy to find, others require solving tricky puzzles or completing challenging platform sections. Unlike older Mario games with set paths, each kingdom is a small open world where you can explore freely and find moons in any order. The controls give Mario more moves than ever before, letting players pull off amazing jumps and tricks. Donkey Kong Country. Tropical Freeze is a challenging 2D platformer where Donkey Kong and his family must take back their island from Arctic invaders called the Snowmads. You run, jump, roll, and pound through beautifully designed levels filled with secrets and collectibles. What makes this game stand out is how it uses the foreground and background. You'll ride minecarts that jump between different tracks, grab onto moving platforms, and swing on vines between different layers of the level. Each of the Kong family members, Diddy, Dixie, and Cranky, gives Donkey Kong different abilities when they ride on his back. Diddy lets you hover with a jetpack, Dixie spins her hair to gain height, and Cranky uses his cane to bounce on spikes. The levels are grouped into islands with different themes like jungles, savannas, and fruit factories, each ending with a creative boss fight. Music plays a huge role too, with songs that match the action on screen. Persona 5 Royal puts you in the shoes of a high school student who discovers he can enter the metaverse, a world created by people's distorted desires. You and your friends form the Phantom Thieves, using your special powers called personas to change the hearts of corrupt adults by stealing their twisted desires. The game splits between two parts. During the day, you live as a normal student, going to class, hanging out with friends, working part-time jobs, and building relationships. At night or after school, you explore dungeons called palaces that are shaped by the target's mind. The turn-based combat revolves around hitting enemy weaknesses to get extra turns and performing flashy all-out attacks. What makes this game special is how your real-world activities affect your Phantom Thief abilities. Spending time with friends strengthens your personas, working jobs increases your stats, and every day matters because the story follows a calendar with deadlines.
It's been a while since we last, but this time
We're rolling deep into your
Persona, go down!
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the biggest and best Mario Kart game ever made, with 48 race tracks and 42 characters to choose from. The basic idea is simple: race against other players or computer opponents while using items like banana peels to slow down others and mushrooms to boost yourself. What makes this version special is anti-gravity racing. Your kart's wheels turn sideways and you can drive on walls, ceilings, and upside down sections of track. The game includes all the DLC from the original Wii U version, plus new characters like the Inklings from Splatoon. There are different vehicle classes that affect how your kart, bike, or ATV handles, plus you can customize wheels and gliders that change your stats. The game features a battle mode with 8 arenas and 5 different game types like Balloon Battle and Bob on Blast. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is perfect for any situation. You can play alone, with up to 4 friends on one Switch, connect multiple Switch consoles, or race against people online. The Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild completely changed what people expect from open-world games. Link wakes up after 100 years of sleep to find Hyrule in ruins, and Princess Zelda holding back the evil calamity Ganon at Hyrule Castle. The game lets you go anywhere you can see from the start. If you see a mountain, you can climb it. If you see a distant island, you can find a way to reach it. The gameplay revolves around Link's tools called runes. One lets you create ice pillars from water, another stops objects in time, another creates remote bombs, and the last lets you control metal objects with magnets. These tools let you solve puzzles in creative ways. The world follows realistic rules. Metal conducts electricity, fire spreads through grass, and wind affects how things move. Weapons break after being used a certain number of times, forcing you to adapt and try different equipment. The game has over 100 shrines, mini dungeons with puzzles, and 4 major divine beasts that need to be freed from Ganon's control. Shin Megami Tensei V Vengeance puts you in the role of a high school student who gets transported to Da'at, a post-apocalyptic version of Tokyo filled with demons. After merging with a mysterious being, you become a Nahobino, half human, half demon, with the power to fight and negotiate with the demons you encounter. The combat is turn-based but with a twist. Hitting enemy weaknesses gives you extra actions, but the same applies to enemies hitting your weaknesses. Instead of just fighting demons, you can talk to them and persuade them to join your team through conversation. You can then fuse these demons together to create stronger ones, passing down skills to build the perfect team. The Vengeance version adds a new storyline path, new areas to explore, and quality of life improvements that make the game more accessible. The world is divided into large open areas filled with resources, hidden enemies, and platforming challenges. The story tackles philosophical questions about order versus chaos, creation versus destruction, and what kind of world should exist. Pokémon Legends. Arceus takes the Pokémon series in a whole new direction by sending you back in time to the Hisui region, which later becomes the Sinnoh region from Diamond and Pearl. Unlike traditional Pokémon games, this one lets you catch Pokémon directly in the open world without always battling them first. You can sneak through tall grass, throw Pokéballs at unsuspecting creatures, or engage them in battles that now happen seamlessly without switching screens. The game is split into large open areas filled with different types of Pokémon that react to you in unique ways. Some run away when they see you, others might attack on sight. Your job is to create the region's very first Pokédex by not just catching Pokémon, but also observing their behaviors and completing research tasks. The battle system adds a new twist with agile and strong style moves that let you trade power for speed or vice versa. Luigi's Mansion 3 puts Mario's scaredy-cat brother in the spotlight as he explores a haunted hotel to rescue his friends. Luigi uses his ghost-sucking vacuum cleaner, the Poltergust G00, to capture the spooky inhabitants and solve puzzles. The big new feature is Gooigi, a gooey clone of Luigi that can squeeze through bars, walk across spikes, and help solve puzzles that require 2 characters. Each floor of the hotel has a completely different theme. You'll visit a medieval castle, film studio, pirate ship, and even a disco dance floor, all packed inside this strange hotel. To catch ghosts, you first stun them with your flashlight, then vacuum them up while they try to escape, and finally slam them around to take away their health. The game also introduces new moves like the burst that pushes away nearby enemies, and the suction shot that can pull objects with a plunger. Super Mario Bros. Wonder brings the classic 2D Mario gameplay back with a magical twist. Wonder flowers that completely transform levels in wild and unpredictable ways. When you grab one of these special flowers, anything can happen. Pipes might grow legs and walk away, the background could start dancing, or Mario might transform into a giant spike ball or even an elephant. The elephant power-up is brand new and lets you smash blocks with your trunk or spray water to defeat enemies. The game features over 150 courses spread across different worlds in the Flower Kingdom, where Bowser has merged with a Wonder Flower to become a flying castle. Besides Mario, you can play as Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Toad, and even Yoshi, each with slightly different abilities. The new badge system lets you equip one special power before each level, like the ability to start with a power-up or perform a floating jump. Paper Mario. The Thousand-Year Door is a remake of the beloved GameCube classic that combines role-playing gameplay with the charm of a paper-crafted world. Paper Mario sets off to the mysterious rogue port to find a legendary treasure hidden behind the Thousand-Year Door, but soon gets caught up in a quest to collect 7 crystal stars while stopping the evil X-Naughts from awakening an ancient demon. The turn-based battle system happens on a stage with an audience watching your fights. Perform well and the crowd grows, giving you more power, but mess up and they might throw items at you or leave. Timing button presses during attacks makes them stronger, and you can use paper abilities like turning sideways to slip through cracks or folding into a paper airplane to fly across gaps. Throughout your journey, you'll meet unique partners with special abilities that help both in battle and while exploring. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate truly lives up to its name as the biggest crossover fighting game ever made, featuring 89 fighters from Nintendo franchises and other game companies. The basic idea is simple: damage your opponents to make them easier to knock off the stage, with higher damage percentages sending them flying farther. What makes Smash different from other fighting games is how easy it is to pick up and play. Most characters use the same button combinations for similar moves, but each fighter has unique abilities that make them feel different. The game includes over 100 stages from gaming history, each with hazards you can turn on for chaos or off for competitive play. Beyond the basic battles, there's a single-player adventure mode called World of Light, where you rescue fighters from an evil force, plus spirit battles that recreate moments from hundreds of different games. You can play with up to 8 players locally, battle online against people worldwide, or face off against computer opponents. And there you have it, the top 15 AAA Nintendo Switch games you should definitely play in 2025. Even though the Switch is getting older now, these games still offer amazing experiences that are worth your time and money. Which of these games are you most excited to try? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you think I missed any great games that should be on this list, tell me about them. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more Nintendo Switch content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.